Hi, welcome to another episode of Rapid Fire Review. This is an airsoft gun review show brought to you by the folks at PyramidAir.com. And I'm your host, Barry Goodman.
And I'm Jeff Lauer, and today we're going to review the Sig 556.
Okay, so when you get the Sig 556 out of the box, you're going to find the rifle itself, two 400-round high-capacity magazines, and a cleaning and unjamming rod.
You're also going to get a 8.4 1100 milliamp stick battery and a wall charger. Let's talk a little bit about some features of the weapon. First thing I noticed is it has a 4-position retractable stock, similar to an M4 in the way it works. On the top of the rear, we have a sight that actually folds down into the rails here. So if you want to put a grip or an EOTech or something on the top rail here, you can just flip that sight down and hide it and you're good to go. Next is the battery. In order to get to the battery, you're going to have to pop this pin out that's in front of the lower receiver, and you're going to have to pull on this guy. Get it out of there, okay? And then on the foregrip, you're going to have to pull down on the bottom part and pop it out because it sort of locks up in there. And then our stick battery is in the top of that with our small connector right there. And to put this back together, we're just going to feed it in. And you got to make sure that the battery is snug up in there and that your fuse and your connector and all that stuff is up inside of the top part of the foregrip. Otherwise, this the bottom part of the foregrip is not going to come together and lock up in there.
Now, this is put together pretty efficiently. You know, the wires is at the exact right length, but you got to pay attention when you're putting things back together. This close-fitting parts, you don't pinch anything off in there, because then you're going to have a broke gun.
And make sure you don't lose that pin. You'll
Absolutely.
be very sad
Good
about
idea
that.
to just maybe stick it in your pocket when you pull it out instead of setting it on the ground or something like this. So I'm going to take a look at the control features on this. The first place we're going to stop is at the safety and fire selector here. It's got a 3-position selector, safe, semi, and full auto. We also, easy to get at the hop up here. You pull back on the charging handle, and the wheel for the hop up is right in there, and it's got those little traction ribs on it, so it's easy to get at. I like the opening in here as well. It's pretty big, so if you've got some operator's gloves on, you can still get in there at the hop up. Up here at the front of the rifle, you can see our accessory rails. We've got 2 rails to each side of the gun and 1 along the bottom here for handles and lasers and all kinds of fun. Now we're going to take a look at this pair of magazines. One of the things I like about this is you actually get 2 of these high-cap magazines. They hold around 400 piece, and they can also be joined together with this little nifty device here. There's a lot of systems like this out there on the market that allow you to join the magazines together, but I really like this one. It's very, very easy and very, very sturdy.
Now another neat thing about the magazines in this weapon is it will also take M4, M16 mags. So if you've got a bunch of those sitting at home from another weapon, you can still use them.
Absolutely. If for some reason, I don't know why you would, but if for some reason you run out on 800 rounds, your buddy's rocking an M4, he can toss you a mag, and you're right back in action.
All right, let's head out to the range and see how it does.
Absolutely.
All right, we're out at the range here. We've got the Sig 556, and we're going to see what the FPS and the rate of fire and the accuracy is.
And for this gun, we're going to use 0.2 gram biodegradable BBs. And remember this high cap mag here, you got to keep them wound up in order to keep them feeding.
Great. All right, put this up, put it on semi, and
369. 345, 357, 356, 362. Relatively consistent in that 350, 360 area.
All right, we're going to put the chrono on to test the rate of fire. Put the gun on full auto, and here we go. 13 BBs.
13 BBs a second. Pretty respectable.
Not bad. All right, let's check out the accuracy on this. All right, this is the Sig 556 on semi. One shot, two, nice. Excellent. All right, let's take it on full auto here and see what the grouping looks like. Very nice. That's a decent rate of fire, and man, you can really take out that target with that thing.
Very, very straight flight on the BBs. It's very, very consistent. Nice tight group there at 30 feet.
Excellent. Well, put it back on safe, and let's head back in and give our final thoughts. All right, we're back from the range. Barry, what'd you think about the Sig 556?
Overall, I really like this reproduction. It's a fine reproduction. It's got the Sig Sauer trademarks. It's got a good heft to it. It really feels like the real thing in your hand. I also really appreciated the consistency with which this thing was delivering BBs. The magazine fed very well, and the BBs were tracking right behind each other, put a nice tight group on that target.
A decent rate of fire as well. Mm-hmm. Actually, you know, one of the things that I really like about this weapon is the two 400-round high-cap magazines that you get with it.
That is a lot of BBs.
That's 800 rounds. It's like a box mag, you know. If you're a beginning airsofter, you're not going to need to buy a bunch of extra mags with your first gun. This is going to last you for quite a while.
Mm-hmm. And that's going to save you money in the long run as well.
Plus, it works with other M4, M16 mags, so if you do want to buy extra mags, they're pretty easy to get a hold of.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's about all the time we've got for this gun, but keep your eyes open because we'll be back in the very near future with another cool gun from PyramidAir.com. Until then, I'm your host, Barry Goodband.
And I'm Jeff Lauer, and if you'd like to email us, you can reach us at rapidfirereview@PyramidAir.com.
Also, guys, one more thing before we go. Remember, airsoft guns are realistic copies of actual firearms. So when you're going out and using your gun, remember, use your head, play safely and responsibly. We'll see you guys out on the field.
Airsoft guns are realistic copies of firearms. Shoot safe and act responsibly. Do not remove the federally required orange marking from your gun. Treat airsoft guns the same as firearms. Assume a gun is loaded, even if you know it's unloaded. Never shoot at someone who isn't wearing proper eye protection. Never brandish your gun in public, and always transport it in a case. Do not point an airsoft gun at anyone as a joke. Keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. Do not use airsoft guns to shoot at, discipline, or injure animals. Know the laws regarding airsoft guns and their use.